got something to talk about today. Today we got something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. How about lies? We're going to talk about some lies today. Some good old fashioned lies right in your face. Some good old fashioned lies right in your face. Let me get over here. Let me see if we could get some people in here. Let me make sure that this stream is actually happening. Let's make sure that I'm actually streaming. No struggle streaming today. Let's see if we on there. Let's see if we on there and in there. Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. You guys see Hunter Biden over there high as a kite with a cigarette in his lips. You know, high as a kite. High as a kite. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What is the word? Oh, it's a couple of us in here today. How's it going? How's it going? Going to send this stream to somebody. Get some people to put some eyes on this. See, the good news is hard to get good news out, especially nowadays when the days of censoring all things that are true. Censorship of all things that are true. That's what we got going on. That is what we have going on. As I hear the bass coming through the walls, somebody playing some music. They're over there bumping. What's going on with you guys? Welcome to Soapbox Heroes. My name is Tyrone Irvin. Today I want to talk about Hunter Biden, him right here. And it's not that I want to talk about Hunter Biden, first of all, but what I do want to talk about is misinformation, disinformation, whatever you want to put in front of good information, right? So, a while ago, the Hunter Biden story came out about Hunter Biden's laptop and the things that were found inside his laptop. And the reason that I want to talk about it is because it affected me personally. I'm going to tell you how. It affected me personally because when I first read about it, I said, okay, we're going to read this. We're going to use some common sense. And I'm also going to look into other sources besides the big sources, besides your New York Times, your Politicos, these sources, I'm going to look into some alternate sources. And what I do a lot of time is I will actually, if it's something about the Democrats, I'll look at right-wing publications. If it's something about right-wing, the Republicans, I'll look at left-wing publications. Because often your political enemy is who tells the most truth about you. Because they want you to lose, right? And so I remember when this Hunter Biden story came out, and this is how it affected me personally. Because I had posted it and I said, you know what? This laptop thing is true. And people started, as per usual, oh, you're a Trumper. Oh, this, that, and the third. The same typical slanderous lines that people are getting from the mainstream media, they start using them on your boy, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how are people so blind when the evidence is right here? But then it hit me. Well, it's because people only trust who they believe. They trust who they know, and it's confirmation bias. So if your favorite anchor doesn't say it, then it's not true. And also, it's not true when you have people in high positions calling it misinformation and disinformation and calling people Russian bots. I was called a Russian bot when I spoke about this story. Never even been to Russia. I'm not positive if I know a Russian, right? But it's so easy to dismiss people because the mainstream media is putting out a narrative against what that person is saying. So let's go over here real quick. Let's take a stroll over here. Now, remember, when this story first came out, it was called misinformation, disinformation. As a matter of fact, let me start with that. Let's start directly with the name calling. All right. And this is another reason why I have to understand why people don't be knowing what's going on. Because people put their faith in things like this. All right. Let me go down here. Now, this is Politico right here that I'm reading this from. It says it's Politico. And Politico is a national brand. People know what Politico is. People read Politico. People rely on Politico. People look at Politico as credible, intelligible information, right? Even though they get caught being wrong and lying all the time, but it's not just Politico. Let's look at this. Hunter Biden story is Russian disinfo. Dozens of former intel officials say. Okay, so now you have dozens of intel officials, former intel officials, saying that this is disinformation, right? And so now today when it comes out that is actually true, what does that make you think about these former officials that said that it was disinformation? So when people start saying, oh, there's a deep state, there's plots, it's not true, it's not what you think, this is the type of stuff that make those people say that, all right? Again, Hunter Biden story is Russian disinfo. Dozens of former intel officials say. And then this caught my attention when you read right here under the picture. More than 50 former senior intelligence officers have signed onto a letter outlining their belief that the recent disclosure of emails allegedly belonging to Hunter Biden, pictured here, has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation, right? So we've been seeing this whole, oh, they're Russian, oh, it's Russian, they Russians, going on here for a few years, right? And nobody's really paying attention to the underlying parts of this. It's like we're coming up with a boogeyman or a boogie country or state or whatever. More than 50 former senior intelligence officials have signed on to a letter outlining their belief that the recent disclosure of emails allegedly belonging to Joe Biden's son has all the classic earmarks of Russian misinformation, of a Russian information operation. So the first thing they do is blame it on the Russians. Oh, it's the Russians. It's the Russians. And again, when I spoke about this, people call me a Russian bot. Do I look like a bot? I could do the robot. Ooh, I could do the robot. But do I look like a bot? No, tattoo. Don't answer that. All right. While the letter signatories presented no evidence, no new evidence. And see, that's there. They didn't have to present any evidence. But what they did was get some former high-ranking officials to say what they think. And for that, that's enough evidence, right? To the person reading, you're just like, oh, these former intel officials say that it's not true. And it's in Politico. It must not be true. But if you were to crack open the story, you would see that they offered absolutely no evidence to what they're saying. And this is what we're seeing a lot going on in the media, things being pushed with no evidence. They just take the fact that these are publications and people that you think are credible, and they lied to you. All right? All right. While the letter signatories presented no new evidence, they said their national security expertise had made them deeply suspicious that the Russian government played a significant role in this case, and cited several elements of the story that suggested the Kremlin's hand at work. All right? So that's what we've been doing. It's just blaming on the Kremlin. It's the Russians. Now let's come over here. March 17th, 2022. Hunter Biden's infamous laptop confirmed in New York Times report. Wait a minute. Wait 1 second. But Tyrone, they said over here that it was Russian disinfo. It was Russian disinfo. And again, these are people in the intelligence community that are saying this. Now, if I am not in the intelligence community, I'm just a regular guy who stays abreast of the news. Well, I constantly stay abreast of the news, reads in between the lines, got a few sources myself. And I'm saying, but the evidence was all there. I can show you articles from when this first came out where people were like, nah, this is true. And they were showing how it was true. But we have these intelligence officials, more than 50 former intelligence officials signed a letter casting doubt. All right? So if an intelligence official is wrong about this, but just a guy sitting in a chair in Houston, Texas is right about this, are those intelligence officials actually lying? I think they're lying, allegedly. There's no way that they didn't know. It was a lie. They lied. They lied to get what they want in the election. They didn't want this stuff coming out about Hunter Biden. But voila, it's true. And now I know some people go say, Tyrone, that's from the New York Post. But it was cited from the New York Times, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. A comprehensive report about the ongoing federal probe into Hunter Biden's tax filings, published by the New York Times on Wednesday night, confirmed the existence of the first son's infamous laptop. You know, the one that was Russian disinfo, right? In October 22, the Post exclusively reported on the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop that he ditched at the Delaware repair shop in April 2019. The laptop's hard drive contained a trove of emails, text messages, photos, and financial documents between Hunter Biden, his family, and business associates, detailing how the president's son uses political leverage in his overseas dealings. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Where was he using that leverage at, you guys? Where was he using that leverage at? The Ukraine. The Ukraine, when he worked for Burisma. But again, it's disinfo, right? It's disinfo. See, this is the thing. They'll call you crazy loud as possible. They will shout you crazy from the mountaintops. But when it comes out your right, they're silent. They're silent. And people are going to act like they don't see this because they're so invested into the lie. All right? Now, I'm not here to talk about Hunter Biden being a crackhead. It is what it is. But I do find it ironic that his dad passed all those laws and his son is a crackhead. I said it. He passed all them laws, putting people in prison, long sentences, and his son is out here doing crack, leveraging money through his dad's political position. And I'm not trying to say that this is unique. No, not at all. Chelsea Clinton, Trump's kids. This is something that we see. But there's a slight difference. If this was Donald Trump's kids, could you imagine? Just like a few months ago, it came out with Hunter Biden and his lawyer going back on the phone and Hunter Biden saying, nigga, 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 nigga. It never made the news. But if I tell somebody about it that they didn't hear from Don Lemon, it ain't true. But if you look it up, it's right there. People, we got to start learning how to study stuff for ourselves. We have to start learning how to study stuff for ourselves. Because these people, they're not about to tell it the truth. They're not. These people are going to do whatever it takes to gain power and to stay in the power. And that actually goes for both parties. It goes for both parties. But right now, the party that is in control of the misinformation is the Democrats. It's Democrats. And I'm not trying to politically take sides or none of that. I'm just telling you what is going on right now. And again, this did affect me because I was a Russian bot. All kind of names. You would watch people go from being friendly to being enemies over having different information, over varying information. This whole misinformation campaign and all these lies that are started at the top and then they put the blinders on us down low have us arguing and fighting. We're fighting because we're being lied to. And then when people like me try to tell the truth, people dislike the truth tellers because you have been told to listen to the liars. And the liars got big buildings and lights and this, that, and the third. And so we seem to believe them. But when we look at stuff like this, how can you not be appalled with the simple fact that the media will lie? Intelligence officials will lie. And then when people say it's a deep state, you want to call them crazy. But of course they're going to think there's a deep state when, again, look at the headline. And compare it to today's headline. Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo. Dozens of former intel officials say. So we have intelligence officials saying that it's disinformation. Now, how intelligent are they? I think they're very intelligent. I think they're just liars. And sometimes we're going to have to get to it and we're going to just have to admit that. Oh, the mad scientist. What's up, expert? In the lab. Yeah, we're in the lab today. The Black Russians. I did one of those DNA tests, where they check your background and stuff a few years ago. And I did see that I was like 1% Russian. Maybe that's why I don't mind a little vodka every now and then. Maybe that's why I don't mind a little bit of vodka. Mr. Expert, happy birthday to my guy. It was last week, man. I had a great time hanging out with you, Delvin. The expert, man. Delvin, we got to get in the studio and we got to get cooking again, man. We got to get cooking. But, hey, you guys, so look, I just wanted to jump on real quick and talk about this because, again, I'm a Russian bot, remember? Because intelligence officials say that the story is false. You got to remember that those intelligence officials, they have goals, they have ideologies, they have people that they work for, and they have other jobs that they're trying to get. But again, so just remember the contrast from this headline right here. Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo. Dozens of former intel officers say, and then look at it today. Hunter Biden's infamous laptop confirmed in the New York Times report. So when you hear former intelligence officers say this and that don't mean it's true. Do you guys remember we spent a whole year on Russiagate? On Russiagate, how Russia tried to upend the United States election. What happened with that? What happened with that? It disappeared. Who went to jail? What happened? It disappeared. Tax money gone. All your attention was on the TV, and all of it was a joke. Remember the Wuhan lab theory when we were talking about the vids? Disinformation. It's not true. It's a lie. And now they're talking about, maybe it did come from Wuhan. This is after deplatforming people. Again, this is after making people argue and fight over what's true and what's not because people are getting different information from different people. People are getting lied to. And people believe those lies. And again, I'm watching this. I'm watching people that didn't want to spend Thanksgiving with certain family members because they believe stuff like this. I watch people get into these massive conflicts over politics and stories that ended up being true when they thought that it wasn't true. So it's too much going on with all this misinformation and disinformation. What's up, Tony? What's going on? It's a lot of joking going on. And so my thing is, let's just be a little more cognizant of who we believe. And let's not forget who lies. Now, I want to know those former intelligence officials that signed that letter so I can know to never listen to them again. But listen to the lingo when things are put into certain terms. Former intelligence officials. So that right there in your mind gives you validity. But you were being lied to. All right? Those was Trump's kids. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. This is Soapbox Heroes, you guys. I'm about to get on up out of here before I am late to my next appointment. Much love, peace, and blessings. Stop believing the lies. Don't believe the lies. Don't argue with stuff that you don't know. This is one more thing before I go that I noticed. I noticed that the American media, the American press, and the government, when they work together, they are good at making you hate somebody that you've never even listened to. Think about how many people that the American people as a collective dislike, and they've never heard one of their speeches. They've never heard them talk. They've never heard them explain anything, but we hate them. Look at Gaddafi. Saddam Hussein. What's his name? Vladimir Putin. I don't know too many people who has ever sat down and listened to a Vladimir Putin speech, but I do know a lot of people that hate him fully with their whole heart, even though they know damn well the American government and media lies to us daily. Now, am I saying any of these people are good men? No, I'm not. I'm just saying that there's more than one side to the story. But here in America, it seems like we just get behind one side and we stay there. So I challenge you, go listen to some of the people that you were told to hate. Find out if you really hate them for yourself. Just give it a try.